Hello, 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 and welcome to the video. And so, a while ago, so about 2 months ago, I did a video called My Trading Card Collection Sucks, but I Like It, and which I'll have a link somewhere over here. Of course, no one's really watched that video, but I said at the end of the video I was going to do a Sonic Archie trade paperback video in about a few weeks. And of course, that few weeks turned into months. Before we do start, I want to say that the majority of what you're about to see, a lot of it is my uncle bought these for me. I didn't really have a job to help me buy all of these comics, and I am forever grateful for him for buying these and just helped me get into comic books a lot more. And it was thanks because he had a massive passion for collecting comic books and reading comic books for Marvel and DC, and he just wanted to help me get into the world of comics in my own way. And without further ado, let the video begin. Alright, so let's start with the Sonic Archives. So here we go, this is the first volume, and yeah, this is probably one of my absolute favourite covers because it has the cast of characters during their initial introduction period, because you have Sally, Tails, and Rota. I think he was called Boomer at the time, until he became Rota. Then you have Bunny or Bun Rabot, then Antoine, and of course Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, this was just the beginning. I just thought, okay, after I was getting lost in my words, these comics were just, at the time, they were just. So we have to understand something about early period of Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comics, was they were, at the end of the day, comics like these were intended as just promotion to the video games. Of course, these are a lot more light in humour, they don't really take themselves that seriously. I don't think it was supposed to be that long, or supposed to run for as long as it did, but it was just so popular that it did. As you can see, this was during the 15th anniversary. This was the anniversary of 2006. Of course, as you know, we had Sonic 06. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go through these. I don't think I have a lot to say about them, unless I'm going to bring up something specific. So yeah, Sonic Volume 2. And a lot of these covers, I think, during the initial period were drawn by Patrick Spazinet. I hope I'm saying it right, or he just uses the word spaz, which in the UK we can't really say that word. These are such incredible covers, really captures the issue, or what you're about to see in the issue. Okay, so let's keep going. So I'm currently reading issue volume 3, and hopefully I'm going to continue and see if I like the series as I remember it. So interesting thing about number 3 is because this was the second version of the cover. So if we go back, as you can see, is of course how do you make the covers. This was the original intended cover to be blue, natural colouring. But the reason for the changes of the covers, because while the blue is nice, and I actually do prefer the blue, I thought it looks just more natural, and for me it pops more. However, they did go for the yellow because it just helped bring these guys more to the forefront, and it is more eye-catching, I must admit. Volume 4, and then we have our introduction to Knuckles, the character, and I believe this is when Sonic 3 was a thing. Then you had to use the attachment that you could plug Sonic 3 onto when you could play as Knuckles, and I think you could do that for Sonic 2, I can't quite remember, but yeah, I never knew that, and we couldn't really afford it at the time. Sonic Volume 5, and this is the introduction of all the different Sonic characters that they have. And of course, this is the negative characters, or this wasn't like Scourge the Hedgehog, this was a completely different character. This is literally called Evil Sonic, Evil Sally, Evil Tails, and all that. And of course, we have one of the more iconic covers. This is Sonic racing or battling against Metal Sonic, of course from Sonic CD at the time. Sonic Volume 8, Volume 9, And this has to be my absolutely favourite cover, Sonic the Hedgehog Volume 10. I mean, look at it, it is amazing. So incredible how such a almost simple design of trying to capture the classic Sonic the Hedgehog look. And of course, Spaz did a cover. I always loved his covers ever since issue 175. It was incredible work. Volume 11 and Volume 12. Now this is the variation of where I can't quite remember, but Sonic was basically in case I think we can actually find the cover. Yeah, here it is. This is an absolute iconic cover, as you see. I do like this one. It's way more dynamic, like Sonic's in chains and he's like running away and he's struggling to run away. That is like unheard of. And I think I didn't mention it, this was kind of the period where the series was just like lighthearted, comedic, full of jokes, and mainly promotional material. I think at this time, this is when the series started to take itself a little bit more seriously. But I don't think it's until a few issues later when the series started to become a bit more darker and a bit more serious. Sonic Volume 13, and I do love this cover because it is from the other cover. There's this one. This is the Sonic issue 50, and if I'm correct in assuming, it's fucking I don't quite know. I can't really see the signature. Oh, there it is. Oh, yep. I mean, this is a partial cover done by Spaz and the fucking Penders, Ken fucking Penders. As you can see the art, there it is, right there. That's the iconic art, and I think that is amazing. It is so cool, like Sonic and Robotnik just like for up close and personal fighting. And this was a really good touch, though. I must admit, the pencil art of their final, and then like going into like a void, and then white. I think that was really cool. And for that Spaz to capture this here in like the classic Sonic style is awesome. Number 14. And a lot of these I haven't really read yet, or I just don't quite remember reading. 15. Okay, I think there's Monkey King, or there's Wukong. Number 16. Number 17. Number 18. And this is where everything started to change, and that was Sonic the Hedgehog Archives Volume 19. Now this, one of these issues, is basically where Sonic changed and he was becoming into his Sonic Adventure arc. His eyes became green, his shoes changed, he was a bit more cocky, snarky, and cooler. And so they had to do like a storyline to explain how he changed and everything. And this one, compared to the others, is glossy, and I only just noticed this now. You can see that. You can see the page here, they actually shortcut it, which is very, very strange. Because if you compare it to number 20, they haven't done that. So this is a bit weird. But yeah, as you can see, Sonic has green eyes now. Dr. Robotnik is now, well, Dr. Eggman. I think he still tried to refer to himself as Dr. Robotnik until he became Eggman. Volume number 21. Now this is, I believe, Sonic Adventure. And this is when they find, I can't quite remember what the name of it is. Is it Angel City? I know, no, it's not Angel City, but they find a city and there's the human characters. Number 22, and of course, they're battling Chaos. And then Archives number 23. And unfortunately, we are at the end of it. This is Sonic Volume 24. Now, this is the saddest part because there was supposed to be more issues coming up. And as you can see, and there it is, number 25. And sadly, that never came because the whole debacle with Saga and Archie. Saga, I think they ended their contract either early or they did not renew it, and they wanted to get away from Archie as soon as possible because they had a lot of legal drama with and Ken Penders. You know, I have never read it. This is barely read. Very, 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 very rare. The last few ones are. Okay, so now we're just going to go on to a few short ones now. I'm not quite sure if there are any more of these, but there's only 4 issues. So let's just do it. Sonic Echidna Archives Volume 1. Volume 2. These are a lot more thicker than the other ones, believe me. I'll just show you. And there we go. These are the 4 volumes. This cover is awesome. I love this one so much. And to prove how much thicker they are, so here is this one, and here is, whoops. So this is the Knuckles one, and this is the regular Sonic Archives one. Yep. Short-lived ones. I think there was supposed to be some more, but yeah, it never happened. Before we continue, I just want to show you a few more things, especially this one. This is Sonic the Hedgehog, the beginning. So this was released years ago, I believe in the early 2000s, as the archives were continuing. This was actually re-released years later as Sonic the Hedgehog Archives Volume 0. So it was part of the Archives brand. And what's different about this issue, as you can see here, if you want to just pause that and read, if the quality is good enough. So this actually has issue 0. This was the promotional comic to try and entice people to see if they like the comic and want to buy it and to promote the game. And of course, as you can see, different versions of the character. As you can see, Sally went through different iterations. This was her earliest appearance. Find it, like there she is, right here. And then she became pink for a while, and then until they settled on the final design here. And so yeah, I just thought this was a little cool thing. And while we're keeping on with the archives, I want to show you these. This was the Sonic Legacy series, and this is Volume 1. And basically what these are just mega issues. They collected, as you can see, again, issue 0 to 3, and then the main series 1 to 16. But however, what's so different besides how thick they are? Well, they are all in black and white. Now, why are they in black and white? Because this was a lot of comics used to do that back in the day, because they were very cheap. I mean, I'm just going to show you, look at that. Look at the price there. And I want to show you the price of this. Well, you won't be able to see it on the screen, but this here at the time was $7.49, and it collected 9, 10, 11, 12, so that was 4 issues. And here about nearly 20 issues in this one here for about $15.95. Even in Canadian dollars, that was an amazing price, $16.95 Canadian dollars. And of course, we have Volume 2. Of course, just amazing cover art. However, if you notice that the says here 17 to 36 and is loaded with extra material and special features, and well, then you can see the price increases from $14.99 and then in Canadian $16.99. And then we have the quote-unquote final version. This is the Volume 3. And look at the prices here. Look at that, $16.99. Because that is insane, because when you think about it, let's just go back to this one. Like, that's a crazy in price increase. See, still black and white. And as you can see here, there is Next Time in Sonic Legacy, Volume 4, released in December 2014. Now, this never happened. Number 4 did release, but it was a digital only release, and you could only get the digital version on the Sonic Comics app, or the Sonic Archie Comics app, or the Archie app at the time, until that app was discontinued and you can no longer access your digital purchases from there. So yeah, that was kind of scummy. As you can see, the name, bloody fucking pandas. But yeah, that was something I wish to share, and of course, I wanted to just share this, Best of Sonic the Hedgehog Comics, Volume 1. I thought I had Volume 2 somewhere, and it has the included collection Mecha Madness Final to the Endgame Order from Chaos Future Tense. Wow, $25 and 28 Canadian. And I just want to show you some other little things I have. I used to have the Super Digest books, which is just basically a collection of the stories. Of course, first issue Christmas one, then you have that, and then the Super Digest. Basically what you would just find in a comic store, you'd find, oh, my kid can read these. And they're in colour, they had different issues, and no, not a bad way to try and get into it. If you guys thought I was done, oh no, not yet. We're going to get into the other ones, the Sonic Selects. So these ones are just, as it says here on the back, you can pause that, is the premium collection of select Sonic comic book stories. So miniseries, double-length specials, like Sonic Kids and whatever. So great things to have. So I'm just going to go through these very quickly. 2. As I mentioned, Sonic Kids, that accursed one. 6, the Death's Egg Saga. I'm not going to say the number because I'm not going to be part of that meme. 8, 9, the games. And 10. Oh yeah, this was the after the Genesis crap thing. And of course, can't always go in without the complete Sonic comic Encyclopedia. Oh no, we're not done yet. So there was another series coming out, and that was the Sonic Universe series. And I do have the single issues and also the trades and paperbacks. Now these were cool, telling like different side stories of what's happening with like Shadow and other characters while the main series is going on. And I like this cover because it's using the Spaz was doing this Sonic X design, and at the time there were Sonic X comics from Archie which didn't really do that well. 30 years later, Knuckles returns. Tracy Yardley was doing the comics at the time. I mean the covers at the time. Journey to the East, The Tails Adventure, Treasure Team Tango. Well, of course, Sonic's like that. Oh, one of my personal favorite is the Silver comic because, you know, Silver, it is amazing. And I think this is the last one, at least I have never got anything after this. But wait, there's more! We haven't even got to the Sonic Saga series. Darkest Storm. So this one is, I can't quite remember. I mean, for goodness sake, it was $12 at the time. And the price has only just increased after that. It's a battle royale for the fate of the world in the epic Sonic Saga, The Darkest Storm. And then we have here, Order from Chaos. And of course, this one says here, it is the complete Order from Chaos storyline selections from Sonic the Hedgehog 168 and 172. Of course, this is the cover that I have, one of my absolute favourites in the whole series because it was my first. This was from issue 175. Collects issues from 173 to 176, and Sonic Rush from the Sonic number issues 160, 161. 4, 5, 6, that number. And I don't think there was an 8, or at least I never got an 8. And of course, they had to oblige to do tie-ins to other video games. Of course, the Sonic Boom video games, which actually had a fantastic animated series. Just you wait, we have these to do. This was the Sonic Mega Man collab storyline, because I actually had a deal with Capcom and they were going to do the Mega Man comics. And man, this was just insane. Like, no one expected this to happen. I didn't, because I didn't really keep up with everything. But this was so cool. I look at it, Mega Man becomes Super Mega Man and they're interacting with each other. And that's so cool. And of course, it continued, because then they did a series called Mega Man and Sonic and Mega Man Worlds Unite. So I believe this is where they actually were becoming one world. And then there was also an event that happened. And of course, there is this one. It's just a collection of these 2 issues together, I believe. And yeah, this was such an amazing stuff. I just want to show you this. This was just when they did magazine, Sonic Super Special, just a collection of some stories from the modern era and some little cool things, and this was it. This is the future that they wanted. The world of Sonic the Hedgehog is in your hands. Download the Sonic Comics app from your iPad or iPhone. So I want to try and finish a few things off, and I just want to talk about this Sonic Genesis, or as we say, Sonic Mega Drive, but Genesis is a more fitting name. This is very divisive for me. For me, this is when Sonic the Archie comics fell off completely. I lost interest in it. So this is basically a response to, because behind the scenes, Ken Penders, who was an artist and a writer for the series, doing a lot of legal shit behind the scenes by trying to sue Saga and Archie. But basically, he said that he owned the rights to some of the characters he made. There were some that he did originally create, but he claimed ownership of the Echidna idea, the storyline, Knuckles, and he was constantly suing Sega over and over again. So Sega basically was like, alright, we've had enough, do something about it. So Archie decided, okay, so how about we do basically time travel, we all go back into the past. However, characters will retain memories of what happened in the future, because a lot of things happened. It was extremely complicated, convoluted. Yeah, it was very hard to follow what was going on. So they hope by doing this, simplifying everything, but everyone remembered, almost everybody remembered what happened, and they can be very, very, very selective in what they can say and what they do, and try and change things. But for me, the magic was lost, and the writing was on the wall. Sega knew, even before this released, Sega was just sick and tired of Ken Penders suing them. They wanted a fresh start, and so the partnership was basically ending shortly after this. That's why we have the IDW Sonic Collection, which I have just completed my trade paperback. So I don't want to leave it on like a sour note, so I'm just going to show you my very, very first pickup that I bought myself, and there it is. Sonic issue 175, and I think I told the story before of how I wanted to get into the comics because of the Sonic Mega Collection Plus on the GameCube. You can look at the old comic books of Sonic from Archie and then all the covers, and it didn't hit me till years later. I just thought, oh, I really want the comics, and I asked my uncle, who was a massive comic collector, say, what should I do? He said, well, you should probably go to the comic store, which I go to, and ask them if they can get you a copy. So I did. Oh, can I please have Sonic the Hedgehog comic, if possible? And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. And I waited for weeks. It felt ages. I waited for it. I remember going in every few days just to ask, do you have the comic yet? And they said no. And I was really about to give up hope. that it was ever coming until this issue came in, and my god, and I asked them, "Oh, do you have the comic?" And I was going in. I always had kept some money in my pocket in cash. I didn't, and I was just standing there thinking, okay, they're gonna say no, and until he said yes, and my heart was beating. And they went into the back of their store, and they came out with this comic in this wrapping paper. I decided to put these three together because it's part of like the storyline. And they came with this out here, and they presented me this comic book. Oh my god, I was shaking. I was like picking this up like, what is this cover? Eggman has Sonic holding in chains? Like, this was insane. And oh wow, and I remember opening up. This was my truly first American comic book that I ever had. And you know, they were advertising DC Comics, Teen Titans Go, the comic book series. And look at it. And like, it was so cool. And look at that, Archie. I'd never seen anything like this in my entire life. And of course, Sonic Archives. I think they only really had, these were like the newest at the time, as I've shown you. Of course, look at the time, yeah, Archie watches. And then of course, advertising Batman. Like, I can't believe it. They actually did an insert of Batman comic. And this is for bloomin' bubblegum. But a Big League Chew bubblegum advert, which I actually did try, and I really enjoyed it. Okay. Don't miss an issue, you know, get it. For me, this was all incredible stuff. And this made me a fan forever. And then I decided, well, I kind of wanted to find some old issues. And I thought, well, what was an important issue? And then I found this on eBay. It was a double issue of Sonic number 70, and then Sonic number 71. This is basically where I said the change from classic Sonic to Sonic Adventure going forward. And it is a weird issue. You have to read it from back to front. And so there you have it. That is my Sonic Archie comic collection. I do apologise for taking such a long time to do this. I just haven't been feeling that great, and just was too lazy to do it, I suppose. I hope you enjoyed that because it was really fun to reminisce about comics. Apologies if I wasn't being totally clear in what I was saying, or it was a bit of a jumbled mess, because certainly editing this video was a jumbled mess. But yeah, until then, I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Probably want to show off some of my Sonic IDW collection, which is mainly just the paperback collection. But that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and you had some memories that came back to you. Or if you have the urge to start reading again or collect, good luck to you and hope you enjoy. And until next time, peace.